Western New England is chock full of mill towns. Holyoke, Chicopee, and Springfield were all leaders in the industrial era with their pioneering water-powered textile and paper mills. But in the time since then, many of these mills have gone dormant. So what's happened to them? Some have been transformed into mixed-use businesses and condos, while others sit vacant, struggling to find a new identity. Tonight, producer Dave Fraser brings us part one in a two-part look at the past, present, and future of mill buildings in our region.
I don't think anyone who has grown up in a mill town takes those buildings lightly. They're not just a building to you, they're really the soul of the community.
It's easy to get a sense of the region's industrial heyday when you look at the many hulking brick mill buildings that dominate the landscape throughout western New England. Workers came from Canada and Europe. Immigrants, whose descendants still live here today, produced textiles, paper, glass, and wood products. They created investment capital that built cities along rivers, cities like Pittsfield and North Adams, Holyoke and Chicopee. Chicopee was predominantly a farming community in the early 1800s when some venture capitalists from Boston recognized the falls of Chicopee were an ideal location for a mill.
The city's motto is Industriae Variae, which means varied industries, and it really lived up to its name in the 19th century. Just about anything that was manufactured or purchased was made in Chicopee at the time. The town really burgeoned overnight. The Irish were coming from a country which had suffered a terrible famine. They would work cheaper, so they began to hire the Irish in droves. After the Civil War, you had many other immigrants coming from Canada, from Europe, and the whole cycle, the process continued, which with each wave of immigration. The section, which is now referred to as Chicopee Center, was called Cabotville at the time, based on the Cabot Mill. And we know, of course, they didn't have cars in those days, but they didn't need them. They had schools, churches, businesses, the factories to work in, all within a couple of blocks. It was its own little world, and they didn't need to leave it.
It was women that made up a majority of the workforce in the large cotton textile mills, making this one of the first times that women were regarded as essential to the workforce.
And they flocked to the mills because it was a marvelous opportunity for them for the first time to be able to provide for themselves, help family at home. So in Chicopee, all these 4 mills required a huge workforce, and that pretty much tapped out a small 8,000 population. So they started sending out wagons out into the Berkshires and up into Vermont to recruit women.
Water was the engine that drove these mills. Water wheels and later turbines powered the machinery inside. Western New England, with its rapid change in elevation along its many rivers, made it a logical choice for the construction of these mills. The city of Holyoke was the first planned industrial city in the nation, largely because of its access to water. 4 miles of canals were laid out in a grid system, providing water power to the many mills along its banks.
Hydropower was actually perfected in Holyoke. They had a testing flume that they sent turbines to from around the world. We actually have 2 turbines that are operating now. They generate a little over half a megawatt of electricity.
John Aubin is the owner and architect of the oldest mill in the city of Holyoke, Open Square. Its mill number 1 was built in 1848 and became part of the Lyman Mills, a large producer of fabric. Today, the 685,000 square foot complex is a mixed-use development of office, residential, and commercial space.
The space itself is just so gorgeous in terms of, we have the average ceiling height is 12'6". There are windows throughout the building, so the views are great. They're urban views and they're views of the mountains beyond. So the space really is inspiring, and as an architect, it really is a sort of great foundation to work with. There's something very modern about the buildings themselves, even though they're 100, 150 years old. We create really an environment for people to live, work, shop, socialize. That's the major feature of it. The qualities, the natural materials in the building, the brick, the tall ceilings, the abundant light, the canals surrounding us really make for a great environment. So my business is built around that and attracting tenants who appreciate that and are looking for that.
Beginning in the 1960s, there was a large public outcry throughout the United States for an increase in historic preservation. One result of this outcry was the establishment of the National Register of Historic Places. Since that time, more than 1 million listings have been added to the National Register on many types of structures and places across the country. While not a certain guarantee that a structure will never be demolished, the National Register provides owners with the tool to seek national and state tax credits, grants, and other assistance that may enable the rehabilitation of the building.
I have enormous respect for the buildings themselves. I think anyone who grew up in a mill town, whose relatives, generations of relatives worked in them, you miss them when they're gone, and when they're still standing, the ghosts of the people who worked there. It always strikes you in a very emotional way.